Hi students, welcome home to Mars. Today we shall study one more bone of our upper limb, the scapula. It also forms part of our shoulder girdle or pectoral girdle. This scapula actually hides, it's an introvert bone in our body, hides behind our ribs, posterolaterally in the upper part of our back, but it silently controls all our shoulder movements. Now, before we start with the description of the scapula, first let us see the location and the muscles around the scapula for a better understanding. Now, here is the upper back. Scapula corresponds to second rib above to the seventh rib below. This is the first point you should remember. The muscles around the scapula are, this is the scapula, this is the spine. So above the spine, this is supraspinatus muscle. This is infraspinatus muscle. This is the medial border of the scapula. This is levator scapulae, rhomboidus minor, and this is rhomboidus major. This is the lateral border of the scapula. So this is teres minor and this is teres major. This huge muscle is latissimus dorsi and this muscle of your shoulder is deltoid muscle. When you see the scapula from the front, this muscle is subscapularis, and when you see the scapula from the front, from the pectoral region, this muscle is pectoralis minor, again attached to the coracoid process, and two muscles of your arm, this is short head of biceps, this is coracobrachialis, attached to the scapula, and the muscle that helps you to punch, this is serratus anterior, and one more muscle, that is long head of triceps. These are the muscles attached to scapula, and now we shall start with the description of the bone. So pick up the scapula, flat bone, and it is triangular in shape. See the parts. The part that I am holding, this is the body, and it has got three processes. This beak-like is coracoid process, flattened acromial process, and this is the spine of the scapula. Now let us just focus on the body. This is the body. Don't worry about this. This is man-made foramen. It's not existing in the scapula. You can see another scapula here. There is no such foramen. So body has two surfaces. This surface which lies on our ribs, this is costal surface, otherwise called as subscapular fossa. It is beneath the scapula. This surface where you have the prominent spine, this is the dorsal surface. Scapula body has three borders. This one is the superior border. This border against your vertebral column, this is medial or vertebral border, and this border away from the vertebral column, this is your lateral border. There are three angles. This is superior angle, which is present between superior border and medial border. This is inferior angle, very important, corresponds to seventh rib. And this is the lateral angle where you have the glenoid cavity. This glenoid cavity articulates with the head of the humerus to form the shoulder joint. Now, once you know the parts, we have to hold this in anatomical position. The first point is the glenoid cavity should be facing laterally. The coracoid process should be facing forwards, and the spine should be facing dorsally. So, this is the left-sided scapula. So, if you see from your point, then this is the way you hold it. The spine should be towards you, and please remember the coracoid process should not be facing laterally, it should be facing forwards. This is very important point. Now we'll go with the muscular attachment. First, this is subscapular fossa, gives attachment to subscapularis muscle. Turn dorsal surface. Look for the spine. Above the spine, supraspinous fossa gives attachment to supraspinatus muscle. Below the spine, infraspinous fossa gives attachment to infraspinatus muscle. Now we'll go to the borders. This is the medial border. But one point you have to remember is this medial border has dorsal surface and medial border costal surface. Medial border costal surface gives attachment to serratus anterior muscle, the muscle that helps you to punch, whereas medial border dorsal surface gives attachment to levator scapulae, extending from superior angle to the root of the spine. This area is for levator scapulae, root of the spine to rhomboidus minor, and the remaining border gives attachment to rhomboidus major. Come to the lateral border, just below the glenoid cavity. It gives attachment to two muscles. One is teres minor and lower part of the lateral border to teres major. Now, this is the spine. This spine has got, you call it as the posterior border or crest of the spine. To the upper lip of the crest of the spine, trapezius is attached. And to the lower lip of the crest of the spine, posterior fibers of deltoid is attached. Whereas, to this acromial process, you can feel it on the scapula that you're holding, there are 4 tubercles on this acromial process. It's quite subcutaneous. To this, the middle fibers of deltoid are attached, not directly. There are fibrous septas attached to this acromial tubercles, and from where the middle fibers of deltoid will take attachment. To the inferior angle, we get an attachment of latissimus dorsi. Now you come to the coracoid process. Please remember, coracoid process is called as atavistic epiphysis because it is attached to the scapula bone for nutritional reasons. This tip of coracoid process gives attachment to short head of biceps and coracobrachialis, whereas medial border upper surface gives attachment to pectoralis minor. Come to the glenoid cavity. Just above the glenoid cavity where I am pointing here, this is supraglenoid tubercle, to which long head of biceps brachii is attached. And please make a note, very important for your exams, it is intracapsular in origin. That is, long head of biceps brachii is intracapsular in origin. So this tubercle is infraglenoid tubercle, which will give attachment to long head of triceps brachii. So have you seen now, counted 17 muscles are attached to our scapula. Then what are the ligaments attached to this acromial process and coracoid? Just connect the two. We have coracoacromial ligament. And in the previous video of mine, you have seen this is the acromial end of clavicle, articulates with the acromial process to form acromioclavicular joint, and from this clavicle to the coracoid process, that means over here there is a very important ligament, coracoclavicular ligament, strongest ligament of the upper limb. And the last is there is a ligament called as your coracohumeral ligament. These are the 3 ligaments. Scapula ossifies by 8 centers and the ossification is completed by 20 years. And now we'll move on to the clinical aspects. Mark this very important landmark. Coracoid process, which you can see here, lies 2.5 centimeter below the lateral end of the clavicle. This is a very important point. Next is, there is something called as Springel's deformity, otherwise called as congenital high scapula. So when an attempt is made surgically to bring down the scapula, this can injure the brachial plexus. So we shall summarize everything about scapula with the help of a drawing for revision. You can draw along with me. We'll draw two views. One is dorsal view of scapula. Another is the ventral view or anterior view of scapula. So we have two views. So let us quickly sketch. This is the body of the scapula, glenoid cavity of the scapula, go up, spine of the scapula, and this is acromial process, go up, superior border, and this is suprascapular notch. I missed it that time. This is the suprascapular notch through which suprascapular nerves and vessels will pass, and those vessels and nerves will pass through this area called as spinoglenoid notch. So this is suprascapular notch, and this is the part of coracoid process that you can see from behind. This is coracoid process. Let us draw the ventral view also. So draw the body of the scapula like this. This is the glenoid cavity. This is the superior border. This is suprascapular notch. This is the coracoid process, and here this is the acromial process. This is the view from the front. Quickly we'll shade the attachments now. As seen from behind, above the spine, this is supraspinatus. Below the spine, this is infraspinatus muscle. To the lateral border upper part, teres minor. To the lateral border lower part, teres major. To the medial border upper part, levator scapulae. Exactly at the root of the spine, this is rhomboidus minor, and to the rest of the border, this is rhomboidus major. Now, above the glenoid cavity, this is long head of biceps. Below the glenoid cavity, this is long head of triceps. Please remember, long head of biceps, this is intracapsular, a very important clinically oriented question. Now, see from the ventral view now. This is subscapular fossa to which subscapularis muscle is attached. From the tip of coracoid process, two muscles, that is coracobrachialis and short head of biceps brachii, and to the medial border upper surface, pectoralis minor is attached. Come to the acromial process. There are four tubercles from which fibrous septas will descend like this, and in between them the middle fibers of deltoid will be attached like this. To the upper lip of spine, trapezius is attached, and to the lower lip of the crest of the spine, your posterior fibers of deltoid is attached. Slightly to the inferior angle over here, latissimus dorsi is attached, and to the medial border but costal surface, serratus anterior is attached. This is a quick revision. You can label the muscular attachment. Thank you for watching, and please share your valuable comments for us to improve the class. This is Mars, where medicine meets meaning.